Welcome to the program EnviroWatch, and I'm your host, Blessing Bonga. This is a program that takes a look at everything concerning environmental sustainability. These might involve climate change, global warming, land degradation, dam siltation. Today, we particularly focus on the issue of how the country will actually prepare on disposing lithium batteries in the wake of government's intention to introduce electronic vehicles in the country. Today, I'm joined by Ms. Rumbidzai Matonga, who is an environmentalist, and she also has got an interest in natural resources management. Welcome to the program, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me.
We understand that government is actually government intends to introduce e-mobility policy framework and roadmap for the country, so that we can actually adopt electronic vehicles in Zimbabwe. So obviously, as an environmentalist, when such development actually comes to fruition, there will be the issue of the disposability of batteries that is going to come up. What is your take in that regard?
And thank you so much for that question. In terms of battery disposal, I think these ones they are more these ones they take a longer time in terms of use. The lithium batteries that would be used for the electric motor vehicles, they are used for a period of 10 to 15 years using the same battery. So in terms of durability, I think they are more durable than the petrol and the diesel batteries. So this will be actually a sustainable way of trying to limit the waste of batteries, because batteries they're a bit non-degradable, and then they also cause a lot of damage because of the lithium. But then I'm so excited because this is going to take we'll be disposing of the batteries after a very long period, which is different from when you're using a diesel car or when you're using a petrol car, where you're only going to use the same battery maybe for 2, 3 or 4 years, and then the next thing you're now disposing of. So in terms of waste, we are saying that there's going to be a reduction in terms of battery waste.
Obviously, with the use of electricity comes a lot of risks. We know that electricity is quite hazardous in the household, in the industry, and everywhere else. So, isn't this too ambitious to actually want to delve in the use of electricity in motor vehicles? What is your take on that in terms of safety?
Okay. In terms of safety, I would want to tell you that it's not have the negative effects. I would also say in terms of electric cars, I think there's when we were in the meeting, they were mentioning that there is a lot of research that is going on to modify the cars to make sure that they are safe, so that we do not have issues of electric cars or where they are maybe shortages or something like that. But then in my own take, I think because there are so many bodies that have to approve before all the cars are said to be there, to be fit for humans to be using them, or they are fit for people to be using them. So I think the relevant bodies will definitely look into that and make sure that all the cars are safe for us to be using. The same way that the other diesel and petrol cars have been studied and approved to be safe. We've got the Standard Association of Zimbabwe. I am sure that they are good at this. They'll make sure that all the cars that come in, if they are electrical cars or whichever cars, they are up to standard for us to be using.
As you might be aware, the country's import bill is actually greater than the export bill, meaning we're actually importing vehicles and other goods into the country rather than what we're actually selling to the outside world. So, in light of that, are there any plans that, with the introduction of e-vehicles, electronic vehicles, we actually make ways and means of actually producing those cars locally as opposed to importing them? What's your take on that?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that question. There's a lot that is going on right now. Since I was saying that it's a policy that is still trying to be established. According to the meeting, there was a University of Zimbabwe that was there, and I hear that they have already a course that they have, which also incorporates the people or engineers to be able to fix electric motor cars, which is a good opportunity because now we are going to be having more of these cars coming into Zimbabwe. So our cars, we are sure that they will be fixed with the local people and the local graduates of Zimbabwe. And also I heard that Harare Institute of Technology is also offering a course which is also related to electric motor cars. I think that is a stepping stone also in terms of the new technologies that is coming in and incorporating the indigenous people. And also from the workshop as well, there's going to be something, a program that is also going to incorporate the youths into knowing about this the e-vehicles and how they are going to be fixed, and also on they're also going to be trainings as well. So I think that's a starting point in terms of incorporating the indigenous people. And then in terms of having an investment or a manufacturing plant here, there was an issue that was going to be discussed in terms of ownership rights, and I think that is going to be negotiated first before the policy before the policy or the bill is actually passed. So when that has been passed, that is going to also give investors the confidence to either come and invest here and have their manufacturing plants here or not. So I think by the time that we when the government and the relevant stakeholders are actually formulating this policy, I think they should also put my investor friendly policies that would attract so much investments into Zimbabwe.
You mentioned a very interesting point there about the necessary technological teachings that we're actually having of experts coming maybe from outside to teach the locals about these e-vehicles and the maintenance part and the trainings. But apart from that, do we also have local research that is actually taking place so that we actually are not just dependent from outside expertise or maybe outside technological expertise, but rather actually conducting our own local research from scratch in terms of how to manufacture and actually maintain these electronic vehicles?
Thank you so much for that question. I think in terms of involving the youth, or in terms of research and including most of the stakeholders that have got interest, especially in this type of electric vehicles, that was the main reason for the workshop, or so that we involve everyone. And then initiatives like research are also ongoing. Like we had University of Zimbabwe present, we also had Harare Institute of Technology present, and we are hoping that there are going to be more universities coming in so that they can, so that there is more research, so that the use of the electric vehicles is also relevant to our country. Because sometimes you'd find that in terms of weather conditions, some countries they produce cars according to the weather conditions and to the roads in which that they have in their countries, which may be different from what we have here. So I think that there's going to be a lot of initiatives, there's going to be a lot of engagement in terms of engaging universities as well. So I think that one has it's a process that is still going on. Like I said, this policy is still undergoing. It's like there's still a lot of engagement and involvement of stakeholders. So the people are yet to be involved into the program.
So yeah, it is indeed quite commendable that you mentioned that a number of local educational institutions such as the University of Zimbabwe and the Harare Institute of Technology are actually involved in all this local research. But another burning question would be, how affordable are these electronic vehicles compared to the conventional cars, the fuel-powered cars? How affordable are they?
I wouldn't want to lie, at the moment they are a bit expensive. I think because of the scarcity, this issue of supply and demand. Whenever we have a scarce product, usually that product becomes very expensive. So at the moment, the electric vehicles, they are a bit scarce and they are also expensive. But then they are also durable, and they are also sustainable, and in fact they are eco-friendly. better than the commercial cars or the conventional cars that we have been using all along, because the diesel and fuel, they've been causing so much air pollution, which has been also causing so much global warming, which has led us to where we are right now in terms of climate change, and also the fact that we are agro-based. This has been giving us problems because once there's no rainfall, and that means that our crop yields per year and per individual goes down, which also raises the amount of the cost of living for the country. So for now, I can say they're a bit expensive. They won't be affordable to everyone. But you know, when a product becomes more available and becomes accessible to everyone, the prices are reduced. And when there's so much competition of the producers of the same product, the prices tend to reduce. So at the present moment, they're a bit expensive. But then I'm hoping that with time, because of the supply demands, the prices will definitely go down.
Thank you very much, Ms. Matonga, for that very insightful deliberation that we actually had regarding this issue of the proposed introduction of electronic vehicles. We really appreciate that.
You're welcome, sir.
There you have it. We have come to the end of our program of EnviroWatch, where we're actually discussing with an environmentalist, Ms. Rumbidzai Matonga, on her views regarding the whole issue of the introduction of electronic vehicles, ranging from environmental sustainability issues in terms of disposal of batteries, and also the issue of affordability, and the issue of actually conscientizing the general public regarding the introduction of such vehicles. And until next time, it's goodbye for now. Thank you for watching.